Yo, it's Andre. I'm back with another video. In this video, I'll talk about the Ansisters. So anyway, this society, many people will make it seem like our ancestors have more power. You know, Japan does it too, I'm saying, than they do. But you gotta keep in mind, our ancestors are dead. Sounds harsh, but it's the truth. They're not ghosts, they're not spirits. Humans are souls right now that you're looking at. You're looking at me, I'm a soul. I'm a soul made up of the combo of the breath of life and the earth. This is a soul right here. Right here. This is what a human soul is. A human soul isn't a ghost. It's what you're seeing right here in the video. A soul, a living soul. Like I said in my past videos, every species of existence, no matter what species they are, you know, humans are made from the combo of the breath of life and the earth. The angels of the heavens are made from the combo of the light and the breath of life. The beings of the water is made out of the combo of the water and breath of life. Many species, but then the only difference, we have a body made out of different material compared to other species. But what all living species of every realm in existence have in common is the breath of life that gives us our animation, our life force. So be aware of that. The breath of life is also known as the sperm of the Creator. The same sperm that every male has, because we are the Creator incarnate. So, I mean, men are, women aren't. Women are half. That's why they're double X. Women are based off the chaos, the female counterpart to the Creator, the void. Oh yeah. Anyway, now in this video I want to talk about that. So anyway, that's what a soul is. A soul is really a living being. It's not a ghost like y'all were taught by society. Not only that, ghosts, spirits are not humans. They're just different species. They have a body made out of different material. Yeah, there are many species that are invisible to us, but they're not. They were never human. They're just a different species of beings. They just have a body made out of spirit. That's the difference. But they have the same breath of life that we got. When it comes to us humans, we living souls are made out of earth and the breath of life. At death, the breath of life and the body made from materials of the earth separate. The body goes back to the earth. Breath of life goes back to the void, you know, where it came from. And what happens to our consciousness at death? Our consciousness goes back to the void instantaneously. And the breath of life, yeah, because the breath of life is basically our battery to why we're animated in the first place. When the breath of life leaves, that's basically our battery pack, battery source. And then the person's consciousness ceases to exist. And then the body is the last thing to go. The body by itself is basically a statue without the breath of life. And the body is the last to disappear. It goes back down into the environment that's taken up from it. Oh yeah. So yeah, that's actually the reality. So that's what a soul is. It's just a living being, but it's not a ghost. There are spirits made out of ghostly energy, but they're not human. You gotta understand that. Humans are beings made out of earth and breath of life. That's it. So, any being that dies ceases to exist. Even the beings who are spiritual beings. You understand that every species have the same lifespan. Some beings live forever. Some beings have a lifespan. Even the spirits on earth that live among us, who are neither angel or demon. They simply let's see, the jinns, right? The jinns can live for up to 1,000 years, or thousands, depending on the species. Even those who are not jinn. There are beings who can live for a long ass time. Then there are beings who are very short in lifespan. Yeah, that could live for even a day. There's many species of beings in existence, so that's why I just want to correct people who think that humans turn into ghosts when they die. They don't. The ghosts are just different species. They just have body made out of the more supernatural essence, spirit. Yeah, but it's not a ghost. They were never human. It's just they were born spirit. They were born that way. Understand? They were born that way. Yeah. Ooh. So yeah, the heavenly beings, the angels, or not just the angels that live up in the heavens, the gods, goddesses, because you know I'm talking about male and female, The female gods are called goddesses. The male gods are called gods. The male angels are well, both they're called angels, but there's male and female angels. There's male and female animals up in heaven too, and yeah, there's all kinds of species. But see, their bodies made from the surrounding light, while they have the breath of life we have, and that gives them their animation. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff to mention. So, but yeah, I just have to correct people on that. Because think of it this way too. Everything is made out of spirit, energy. When you really think about it, we humans are just made out of more detailed stuff. We're more density. There are beings who are made out of stuff that we can't perceive. So that's why we can't see them. Yeah, spiritual beings. Yeah, they exist, but they're not human. Remember that they're just a different species. Yeah, sentient beings. And just like they have their own sentient beings, they have beings who are animals too, that think on the animal level, like the ones on Earth, on this physical world. They're spiritual animals too. Yeah, that have an animal level intelligence, animal awareness. So it goes. Yeah. Then there are spirits who are literally created objects as well, or not conscious, but they're still ghostly, and they're invented to fulfill certain tasks. So I'm just giving it real. It's I'm trying to get people to understand that the only difference between us and every species of every realm is that we just have bodies made out of different materials. That's it. While we all have the same breath of life that animates us. So, anyway, let's see. Heavenly beings can live forever. They can only be killed in battle. That's it. What else? Jin's one of the spirits on Earth can live for 1,000 years or thousands. I heard about some. Yeah. Then let's see here. Fairies can live. Well, see, I wasn't told everything. Yeah, some things I was told, but yeah, fairies, gnomes. The spirits that fly in the air. People confuse with angels or heavenly beings, but no, they just live up in the sky, on the Earth realm, in the sky of the Earth, the first heaven. Yeah, they're not from the heaven beyond the firmament. They're from the heaven within the sky dome. Yeah, they're heavenly beings made out of pure wind, and they fly. Oh yeah, I was told that the beings made out of wind called sylphs. Basically, they have a short lifespan. Yeah, way shorter than humans. They're not alive for very long. That's all I can say. I didn't mention really how long, but it's extremely short. Yeah. Let's see here. But yeah, people confuse them with angels or heavenly beings, but they're just beings made out of pure wind that fly in the sky up there, and they hang up there. They can fly close to the ground, but they like to hang out in the sky where the clouds are, or even below the clouds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now let's see what else. So anyway, back to what I was saying. People think that their ancestors are ghosts somewhere, but that's a lie from society and culture. For example, the heaven that we know of is not the afterlife. The heaven up there in the sky and beyond the firmament, the ocean, the heaven, all that is actually the upper world. That's all that is. It's just part of one of many realms of reality. That's it. It's the upper world. The beings up there are different species from us. There are beings up there who look like they're humans. They're just made out of light. Then there are beings who don't look humanoid at all, who look completely alien to our sight. Exactly. Like we saw they look, we'd be like, whoa, yeah. There are beings up there that look like monsters that people confuse with demons, but they're not demons. They just look scary. And then, yeah. The farther you go up in the heavens, the more alien they look. Yeah. Oh yeah. But so yeah, I don't want to go all over the place. Anyway, now what was I talking about? Anyway, there's no afterlife. How they try to teach us. People think heaven is part of the afterlife. Heaven is not the afterlife. It's just the upper world. And then when it comes to the place of torment that churches talk about, media talk about, and hell, right? Hell, it doesn't exist. That's also life from the Catholic. The origin of the story of hell is from the Catholic Church. They invented hell to scare the masses to buy their way into heaven. That's where the concept comes from. So it was really originally created as a scam, over 400 years ago. It was way in the past of one of the earlier Roman empires. They basically lied to the masses about there being a hell. The reason why those people made up that term is because they're narcissistic. So they want to believe it's possible for a being to be tormented forever, because that just fits their fantasy. The creator had you gotta understand, the real creator, there's no reason to make a hell. Like, you gotta understand that doesn't exist. everything that exists, and then I'm gonna expose why. You know how Christians say hell is separation from God, right? That makes no sense, right? Because everything that exists is in the mind of the Creator. Because universe is the mind. That's just the reality. So, in order for if someone was truly separated from God, they would cease to exist. You see how when the churches, media lie, they contradict themselves. Exactly. Because if that was true, if they were separated from God, they'll be separated from existence. See? Yeah. There's no hell, eternal torment chamber. That's made up. You gotta understand the afterlife was made up, Any being that dies ceases to exist. That's just how it is. Humans are of this world. This is our realm. We're made of this density. See? This flesh, this bones, this... Yeah. We just have a different body made from other beings. Beings who are made up of more of the subtle body. Yeah, they can see us. They can perceive us. We can't see them, though, because our sight is only able to see to a certain degree. Of course, people can train their body, to perceive things that are normally invisible. That takes a lot of effort and mental, mental prowess. You gotta practice, and you gotta know what to put in your body or take out your body. You know what I'm trying to say when it comes to the, you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but it's not like it matters if you see the spirit world or not. You will just know by being in sync with the true self, who's above everything. But anyway, so to put it short, there's no afterlife. Every being that you see that exists now is part of the realms of reality. The heavens, the earth is all the same. We just have bodies made out of different material. That's it. On Earth, there's like 3 main types of species on this realm that we humans are born on. There's humans, there's animals, and then there's the ghostly beings who are, spiritual in nature. And there's so many species of them. It's not just jinns. There's elementals, there's fairies, there's gnomes. There's spiritual animals. There's yeah. So I'm just saying, like they just have bodies made out of essence. That's it. It's a more subtle stuff. They're made out of spirit. Spirit is pretty much a lighter substance of. When it comes to us humans, we're made out of denser spirit. When I say denser, it means we're made out of so much detail that a piece of us is made from the combination of the universe. And this is something unique to human men. Yeah, basically. This is something unique to human men. Because we're literally based off the combo of everything. And only we men have that trait. Yeah, the humans of Earth. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, so, let me see here. Oh yeah, so basically, the ancestors are dead. To put it short, all the ancestors are dead. Yep, they lost their consciousness the moment their breath of life went back to the void. When the last breath left, their consciousness fully went black. They went back to the void, the crater, the part of the crater. My people out there, my fellow black men, my people in general, male, women, children, listen up. Remember, it is not our ancestors where our power comes from. Our power comes from the power that gave our ancestors power, not the ancestors themselves. It's the power who gave our ancestors power. That's where our power comes from. Our power comes from the creator of existence, the source, the dark, the black void with no shape or form, where the light, shadow, wisdom, and all of reality comes out of. So just be aware of that. My people, be aware. Don't follow the lies of the other nations thinking that you should worship your ancestors. No. You're not supposed to worship anything. What are you talking about? You're supposed to just know yourself. Be aware that your ancestors are dead, Just be aware of that. It is not... So you gotta understand, when they say the power of our ancestors, it's not talking about our ancestors themselves. It's talking about the power of our ancestors. The power of our ancestors is our power as well among the living, those who are still alive. The same power our ancestors have, we still have to this very day. We black men are privileged because the creator of this entire existence have chosen us before the foundations of creation to be his chosen human nation on earth. We're very, very special and fortunate. We have something that no other nation can beat. But all my people as a nation got to do is realize that. Yeah, we have the ultimate power. But anyway, to put it short, It's the power of our ancestors, the power, not the ancestors, the power. And we have that same power to this day. So be aware of that. What made them powerful is what makes us powerful to this very day. So just be aware of the reality, what it's talking about. Basically, yeah, it's so yeah, I just wanted to mention the reality of life and death. Life is animation. Death is the opposite of life, non-existence, going back to the void. Death is basically going back to the void once you came. Yeah, before you were born, you're just basically going back to the dark, the void. And remember, the dark, the void is the creator himself. You're going back to being part of the makeup of, yeah. So, and like I said, just be aware, there's the cool thing about, like, having the full awareness, you realize to be alive is peace, to die is peace. Because you're aware of the reality of the true self, and you don't take anything for granted. People tend to underestimate death, not knowing that it should be a celebration, not to cry over, Just like life is supposed to be a celebration. Many people underestimate death, don't know the truth about what that really means. You're going back to what you're made up of. But of course, those who die, who has hope in death, just be aware that one of the things the source told me is that not everybody's meant to stay dead. I'll leave it at that. There are people who's going to die temporarily to be brought back to life in the future at some time, and when they're brought back to life, they'll be immortal forever. That's actually, yeah. So when I talk in my videos, I have to mention things that I gotta mention the reality. That's one of the creator's future plans. He's going to give immortal life to a few, because originally humans are meant to be immortal, and it's going to get back to that. So when people die, the death that people die now is only temporarily. Yep, but if I talk about that in detail, I'm talking about another subject, so I'm not going to mention that in this video. But anyway. So anyway, to put it short, yeah, dying is going to sleep. That's the truth about death. And this is for every species that dies. Only the creator is immortal. The beings who have eternal life right now is because the source gave them eternal life. The creator gave them eternal life. So yeah. Heavenly beings don't have a lifespan, but they can't be killed in battle. So, yep. But demons, they experience death way different from everyone else. Like, to them, it's so painful that they can't just commit suicide. So, yeah. And then, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. So it's like, when it comes to us humans, it's like going to sleep like a baby. Yeah. But the current death that every human died, like I said, it's only temporarily. There's our future resurrection. But yeah, like I said, that goes into another detail. So anyway, before I close this video, remember, folks, the ghosts, the spirits, the entities that live on Earth with us that we can't see, they're different species. And yeah, they're sentient like we are. But they're just a different race of species, of beings. They're made out of different material beyond our human senses, beyond our sight, and even our hearing. I mean, some humans can see them because some humans have that gift. But all humans can develop that gift by training themselves. But a lot of humans are not aware of that, so that's why a lot of humans stay ordinary. Yeah. Did y'all know that? Y'all can actually become superhuman by training yourself. But a lot of y'all just are not aware of that. That's all I can say. Because I understand it takes a lot of effort. You have to work out, then the mind, you have to. You see, it takes a lot of effort. I understand why a lot of people don't want to do it. But either way, it doesn't really matter if y'all see the spirit world or not. Y'all will just know about it, because by being in sync with the source within yourself, by recognizing the true self, the source of the intuition that's within you, then you will be told about things even that you can't see. So it'll be no different if you see it or not. Like, it'll just make no difference. You will just know it's there because the source knows everything. So therefore, your incarnation will always be told about things that it needs to know at that moment. So you never have to worry or doubt, or you'll just know when the time is right. Exactly. So it's like, yeah. That's why in my channel, one of my main important subjects is to teach people to be in sync with the true self. That's the only way you can be your true self. That's all I can say. And the cool thing about being in sync with the true self, the source within, the dark within, is that you get to experience being God and human at the same time. It's the best combo ever. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you get to experience So then you get to enjoy the benefits of being limitless and limited at the same time. How cool is that? Yeah. You can experience the full benefits of being limited and limitless at the same time. Yeah, man, that is so fun. This is my secret to why I'm always uplifted and just so and all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and why existence work in my favor, because that's me doing that. Whatever I can't do from my incarnation side, I do from the highest me within me and beyond me. Yeah. No, or rather, me within me. Yeah. Basically, I control reality. Oh yeah, from the source perspective. Yeah, whatever I can't do from this side, I'll just do from that side. Yeah, exactly. I have full control because I recognize myself fully. There's not even a lesser or there's not a middle. It's fully aware of myself. And remember, folks, in real life, people are only as powerful as their awareness level. If you see the creator as a different person from you, then that's how you'll perceive the creator, and you'll be powerless. You're gonna be as powerless as how less aware you are. If you see the creator as a different person, that's what causes the disconnect in the first place. And then the less you see of yourself, the worse you'll get. And you know, the more disconnection you're getting from the original self. In order to have all the power, you have to know that you and the source is the same person. And then you can enjoy the full benefits of being human and the source at the same time. The source needs us humans to experience what it's like to be limited and learn about ourselves, based on what the source told me. Yeah, he said that one of the benefits of humanity, not only are y'all my second family, you know, my first family I follow directly is shadow, light, and wisdom. You know, shadow my wife, light my son, wisdom my daughter. So just like before the heavens was born, I had my own original family. So just like the earth realm, the earth is my second wife. So therefore, y'all not only my precious children, but y'all also, so I can see what it's like to be limited and see my creation from a limited perspective. To see my creation from a limited perspective and to see what it's like to know about myself, learn about myself. And then once my incarnation reaches to the point where I know the difference between the source and the incarnation. I no longer see the difference between source and incarnation. That I've reached the peak of my incarnation, and thus I can experience the full benefit of being source and incarnation at the same time, which is what it leads up to when it comes to becoming the highest awareness. And thus we reach our purpose as the incarnated being. The highest level of purpose, the duty of us, is to be fully aware that we're the same being, and thus we can enjoy the benefits of both. Yep. So remember that, folks. Yeah. Oh yeah, I appreciate that, source me. Yeah, I sense the source me confirmed something to me when I was talking about that for the first time out of my mouth. See how the source would tell me something I didn't know at any moment? Exactly, I'll just say it out of my mouth. Exactly, I just felt the acknowledgement of the source me saying, that's right, that's the true purpose of why I made you. I felt it. It felt like there was a higher vibration pulsing in me. The source was literally saying, that's right, that's why I made you human. When you're not only my second children, my second family, you know, because you know how the shadow is my first wife and the earth is my second wife. That's why I follow you humans directly like I did the original family. So yeah, the heavenly beings are the children of the light in the wisdom. So basically the Heavenly Father had the heavenly beings be created indirectly, because the light and the wisdom are the father and mother of the heavenly beings of the heavens, you know, while the source is the direct father of light and wisdom. And just like he's the direct father of them, because shadows, when he created you to create them, he did the same thing with the earth directly. So he followed us directly too, like he did the original family. So yeah. So he said, not only are we his second family, you know, like we're children of his second family. You know what I'm saying? Which came into being after the heavens was done and the water was done. Yeah, and the firmament and the earth was done. He got with the earth. That's why the earth is called his second wife. But anyway, yeah, sweet. See, he just confirmed it on camera to me. Wow, So me just confirmed it to me on camera. Wow. The source to me said, that's, yep. Purpose why I made humans. Not only are you my precious children, but I get to experience myself from a limited perspective and see what it's like to grow and learn. Yeah. Then once I reach perfection in my incarnation, once I reach full maturity and awareness, then I could enjoy the experience of having both, which is the best experience ever. It's the ultimate experience, which is what a creator. He literally says that we're the evolution of, yeah, and we're special because we're made from the combo of everything. That's right. Every being that exists, we have a piece of those beings within us. Because when the creation was being created, there were creations that overlap with other creation, and to make more stuff more detailed. And yep, that's why we humans are literally made from dark, shallow, light, wisdom, heavens, earth, heavenly beings, water, the spirits, every species of spirits, which is, and the breath of life, the sperm of the source, the breath of life, and the body made from the earth, the earth egg, you know what I'm saying? And the grass, the hair, the bone, the rocks, the stones, the blood made from water, I'm just saying, like, we're made from the combo of everything. That's what makes us special, and we're also fathered directly by the Creator. So, and also, yeah, one of our functions is to learn about ourselves and know ourselves. And once we reach that point of knowing ourselves, we can enjoy the benefits of both. The ultimate goal of a human. So anyway, my videos, like I said, my purpose is to spread awareness. I play a part in that, like I said, because every human, imagine having the highest awareness. Yeah. Then you get to enjoy the full benefit of both. You never have to worry about a thing. It starts with not worrying too, in order to be in sync with your true self. But yeah, remember, folks, it's not our ancestors; it's the power of our ancestors. The power, power. Yeah. At some point, people start saying God in a replace for power. But yeah, but the power. Yeah. My favorite term is the power. Booyah. But anyway, or the dark, you know what I'm saying? Because the dark is more mysterious. Because many people don't know what the term dark is. They don't know that's just another term for the Creator. They confuse it with evil. That's what makes it funny. So I would say that if I want to be more mysterious. So I'll just do that just to mess with people who are less aware. You know what I'm saying? I'll just speak in a more, you know what I'm saying? I'll speak in a higher language that they can't comprehend. But if I speak baby language, it's because I'm trying to get people to understand. So thus, I'll use the term they're used to. Instead of saying power, I would say God. It depends on who I'm speaking to. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But anyway, just be aware, folks. Yeah, the source is not only the creator of existence, he's also the power of our people. Like, because all the nations have their own power they follow. But what all their powers have in common is they're all lesser powers, lesser beings. While our power is literally the power of all powers. We have the ultimate power. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say in this video, my people. Just be aware. Life is all about knowing oneself. And by knowing oneself, everything falls into place. Oh yeah. Anyway, let's see here. Before I finish, I want to make sure I said everything. Oh yeah, like I said, heaven is not the afterlife. Hell doesn't exist. It's made up by the Catholic Church to cause fear and cause people to buy their way into heaven. That's where it originated from. Despite, even though the Creator is kind, but can also be, he also have a bad side. He never created a torment chamber forever. You gotta understand, the Creator is not deranged. He's not that deranged. Like, I mean, he may be like, he may have a good side and a bad side. His shadow side is the universal evil, necessary evil. His light side is the universal good. And he's a dark that exceeds both good and bad. But you gotta understand, even the Creator would never be deranged to make a place like that. Even though his bad side can be scary. He causes plagues, and yeah, throughout you saw what he did throughout since the beginning of time. There's many plagues he caused. There's people who he killed. Despite all that scariness, or there were women who've been eaten by dogs, like vicious dogs. Remember when Jezebel fell out the window and she had a cruel death? like she was eaten by dogs, and they were tearing her apart. And yeah, she experienced the full pain of it. And what else? There are people who've been tormented, or children got enslaved, and all the harsh things that the Creator did throughout history, right? To many people, when it comes to his bad side, right? But just know, even after all of that, he never made a place called hell. You gotta understand something. The Creator does not enjoy tormenting things forever. That's not even the Creator's real personality. The Catholic Church made up hell to strike fear into y'all, to think God is capable of tormenting something forever. I mean, I admit he may cause like all kinds of destruction throughout, when it comes to his wrath, his bad side, but it doesn't mean that he's cruel enough to make a hell that torments you forever. What sense does that make? Dude, look at what the churches say. They say that being in hell is eternal separation from God. How's that even possible? Because God, the source, is existence. When you exist, you're in God, right? So if you were separated from God, you would cease to exist. Dude, man, that's why I tell you people, like, research history, like, just find out the real truth for yourself. Don't just go along with what you've been told, man. You gotta understand, there's no hell, there's no eternal torment chamber. How would the Creator kill the wicked? Is that he's gonna bring them back just to be destroyed, and he's gonna use the lake of fire to kill them a second time. It's not to last forever, it's just a method to kill them a second time. That's it. When they'll be brought back just to be killed again, and then they'll cease to exist. Because there will come a time where the universe will enter a new age to where it's going to be paradise from now on, and all evil will be subject to all good. You know what I mean? And but that's just another story I don't want to talk about yet. But yeah, I'm not really going to talk about that actually ever. Yeah, I just want it's going to happen regardless. But But I mean, I might talk about it, but it depends if it's part of my messages in the future. Yeah. But like I said, I'm just saying, like, a lot of stuff have been made up, when it comes to the spirit world too, not just the physical world. They lie about a lot of stuff. When the good human and the bad human dies, they cease to exist. They go back to the void. But there is a resurrection day. But if a person dies a second time, there's no coming back. They're gone forever. Yeah, because there is going to be a resurrection to where people who thought they got away with their evil were brought back just to experience, both ancestors and descendants. And when they die, that day, it's going to be for keeps. There's no more resurrection. So, oh yeah. But anyway, yeah, so the current death is just temporarily. It's just a rest from the labors of this world system, when people go to rest. So yeah, so basically, that's just how it is for every being. Any being that dies in existence, no matter what species they are, they just go back to the void. Yeah. So just be aware of that, okay? Just be aware of that. The truth about death, And that the spiritual beings that live on Earth with us are not even human. They're just a different species of beings, sentient beings and animal beings, and they're just a different species made out of different material. That's it. So yeah, just be aware of that. Yeah. There's all types of species too. Then there are beings that are physical like us that are also considered mythical. Yeah, like mermaids, right? Mermaids exist, but they're not spiritual. They're physical beings too, like us. They just live in the ocean. And in real life, they're all women. There's no male mermaid. So let's see what else. Yeah, what else? Who's mythical that exists? That's physical too. Let's see here. Oh yeah, there's a giant leviathan that lives in the ocean of heaven, and can even come up like out of our ocean, since our ocean is connected to the ocean of heaven. You know what I'm saying? And those things can grow to be so freaking big, man. Like their density too, but they're so like, dude. Imagine the one that's big as a continent. It's that scary, yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, a lot of the beings that live in the oceans, there are beings bigger than the Earth's continents. That's pretty scary, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they just live deep, like below the Earth. They're not even in the Earth. Like they literally, you know how, because when people leave the Earth, they can leave Earth going downward into the ocean. Yeah, And the rest of yeah, because the rest of the earth is literally in the ocean of heaven. That's where it's located. Yeah, and basically, there are beings who can swim up into the earth realm, out of the earth's ocean. But there are beings who live so down below where it gets denser and denser. I mean, it gets too heavy for any human technology. But anyway, there are beings who have a body built for that, who are so dense that they're so powerful. They live, so basically they live like in the ocean of heaven, and they're not even anywhere near the earth. They could just be like somewhere outside the earth in the ocean somewhere. Exactly. Those beings' bodies are made out of some thick, minerals of the water. It's scary, man. Yeah, but that goes to show. But like I said, even that being, every being that lives has the breath of life in it. Yeah, yeah. The breath of life is the sperm of the source. So anyway, and all beings have an existence. It's just bodies made out of different material. That's it. But we all have the same breath of life. So, oh yeah. So as I was saying, yeah, when you hear about the spirit world and the physical world, remember a lot of stuff you hear is not true. But I'm actually telling you the real facts about it, like what it really is. The realms of reality, all that. The heavens is not the afterlife, like I said. The heavens is just the upper world. There's no hell. It's just, well, there is the earth inside the earth, but that's not the hell that you're taught in Catholic Church, like the of eternal, or Christians, an eternal torment chamber. Nope, that's just the underworld. There's an underworld, but it's just for a different species of beings. Yeah. And demons live on Earth alongside of us, but then they can also like move into caves or just hang out or stay attached to trees, or they hang out in many different places. So, and then the heavenly beings live in heaven, and then there are beings that live in the skies of the earth, or in the ocean near the earth. Then there's some beings that don't even live on Earth. They're just like in the ocean outside of Earth. So it's like, I'm just keeping it real. Like there's so many species and there's so many. But but there is a place within the Earth. The continents the continents are pretty much bobbing on the ocean of heaven. Under the sky dome. And but yeah, the continents are so big underground, right? I mean, with it going down in the ocean, right? Because they only reach down in the ocean to a certain degree, and then there's no more of that stone, that continent. Yeah, it's so basically within the continents. Yeah, there is a underworld, but it's not the realm of the dead that you think it is. It's just there are beings who are underworld beings that live down there. They're just a different race of sentient beings. That's it. And then when they come close to the earth realm, they will just come up to the caves that opens into the earth. Yeah, they'll come up through the cave systems and stuff. They have a secret path. So there's so many species, man. There are beings who live on Earth. There are beings who live in the Earth. There are beings who live in the heavens. There are beings who live in the ocean of heaven. There are beings who live in the heavens above the ocean of heaven. Then, there's all that exists is the 9 realms of heaven and the earth, and there's no more creation after that. When you get to the 10th heaven, actually the 10th heaven is just another term for God, for the source, the dark, the power, the void. His eternity, infinity, pure state of nothingness. Yeah, it turns out the 10th heaven just means source. It's actually just another term for him that talks about him. Yeah, so that's why there's no heavenly being up there. Only the source is up there by himself, because the 10th heaven is outside of creation. The 9th realm of heaven is the last realm of creation. Oh yeah, and you go beyond that, there's no more creation. That's why only the source lives up there. And there's no heavenly beings that approach him. Because, see, the original family, the Light Child Wisdom, are as big of... the Light Child Wisdom, yeah, his wife and 2 children, the original family is as big as the rest of creation. They're the same size as the rest of creation as a whole. Yeah. But they don't go beyond... But the 9th heaven, right? They're contained within the 9th heaven and the rest of reality. But beyond the 9th heaven is pretty much... where you even go beyond the original family, and it's just the Father in heaven by himself. Exactly. So I just wanted to explain that better. But yeah, the reality of the spirit world, the spirit world is not the afterlife. It's just another realm that we can't see. Some humans can see them, by the way, mind you. They exist. They have that gift. And then, but all humans can train to be that way. But most humans don't really know that. And then there are people like me who can see the invisible world only because I'm told about it from the highest me. Because I recognize myself fully that there's no distinction between the creator and the incarnation. So, wherever my incarnation doesn't know, the source knows, and does. That's why I will know it. Why do you think I see the future? Like, people can't set me up. Like, people try to take me by surprise, but never worked. Why? Because the source me knows everything. The source me that sees beyond the body. Yeah, he's called the knowing of everything. So that's why I said this to someone. I remember in the past someone said, "You think you know everything?" I said to them that I don't have to know everything. The one that knows everything is with me. Exactly. You gotta understand that. When you become fully aware of yourself, there won't be anything you won't know. Because yeah, our incarnation can only know things to a certain limit. You know. Yeah. But whatever is beyond our human limit will be taught by the source me, the source counterpart. Yeah. I mean the source within us. Yeah. So, yep. But yeah, so I'm just letting you know, the heavens is not the afterlife, it's just the upper world. That's beyond the sky. The spirits on earth were never human, there's just different species. There's no hell, eternal torment chamber. That's made up by sick, deranged people, narcissistic, from back then, who get the pleasure of the thought of humans suffering for the rest of eternity. They get pleasure at that, so they made up that term. The creator had no reason to ever make something like that. Okay, even though the creator can be very scary, like and all that, he's not that cruel. I'm letting you know. Like, there's no reason for him to make an eternal torment chamber. When the creator punishes, even though like he will show no mercy, when he punishes, he doesn't get a sick pleasure from it. Like, I know a lot of people think that, but he, like, you gotta understand, like, he could be, just like he can be kind and cruel. He's not, like, you gotta understand, he's not as cruel as a lot of humans think he is. I'm keeping it real. Like, how a lot of y'all think that he is. It's like, understand that, so. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say in this video. There's a lot of things to expose, but I will expose more stuff later. So I want people to understand what life and death is, When you're alive, you're animated, and the breath of life is our battery. When you're dead, the breath of life goes back to, well, at death, the breath of life automatically separates. How do you know when a person dies? Is when they do like this. They let go of their last breath, then they're dead. Yep, if the breath of life enters the body, then that person comes to life. See? Exactly. So, just be aware, my people out there, about the reality. It's not our ancestors, it's the power of our ancestors. And the only time a person will come back a second time, before the resurrection in the far distant future, if the source decides to bring them back. That's only exception too. What he will do, he will bring the same intellect he sent back to himself, the void, and put it in a new body. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's only if the creator wants them to come back. Then he will literally bring back that same spirit he sent back to himself, the void, and bring it back into a new incarnate. So it depends on the creator. So resurrection is real, but sorry, not just resurrection. Sorry, reincarnation is real, but it's just the creator could send someone back to the void temporarily and choose to bring them back. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's how reincarnation works, by the way. Yeah, if anyone that dies goes back to the void, but if he decides to want to bring that intellect back, that specific intellect, that personality he sent back to himself, he would just take it from himself, the void, and put it into a new baby body. Yeah. So yeah, that's the only way. That's why reincarnation is a thing. So you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Oh yeah, if you choose to bring that person back before the great resurrection, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's the truth about death. When you die, you cease to exist. When you live, you're animated. Your conscience. Yeah. So yeah, just to be aware. Just for people to be aware. So. Yep, life is another term for light. Yeah, lights, like wisdom, is one of the main ingredients that makes up reality. Yep, and just like shadow, the necessary evil too. And while the dark holds everything together. Yeah. So anyway, that's enough of this video. So please, people, understand the truth about life and death, like the reality of it, not what they tell you about it. Peace.